I got all my soldiers in me. We are family. I got everybody with me. Okay, mama sing. We are family. I got everybody with me. We are family. I got everybody with me. We are family. Oh, yes, it is. I got everybody with me. Family. I got everybody with me. We are family. I got everybody with me. Hello, 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 hello.
Hello,
everybody. Woo. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. Right. Thank you for joining.
Yes.
The Erica Presents Ellie's Legacy,
Yes.
Featuring Lil Kim.
Yes.
Which I know Lil Kim is not with us today. She's in the hospital. And we have funny man Chris Tate.
Yes. Auntie hats, her favorite hats right here. Yes, indeed.
And we have some special guests here with us today, which is my cousin Carmen Tate.
Yes, sir.
And my own mother, Carolyn Carruthers.
Yes. The J.
And they call her the J, y'all. The J.
All right. That's my real name now. Right. You know, made up stuff right there. Oh, no.
So, today our topic is going to be family grief. And a lot of people don't talk about family grief, which is grieving, grief, and it's all the same. You grieve and you carry around grief. And so people don't talk about that in their family. Either they shut down, they deter away from the family.
Yes.
They don't want to be bothered with your families. They don't keep the family love. They want hatred in the family because they're angry. They want you to feel the way they feel. Yes. Because they're angry because of grief. And so sometimes we don't talk talk about that enough. Right. You know, we hide it. We try to sugarcoat it. We try to work. You know, we work a lot just to keep from thinking about it. Right. We drink. We smoke. We do a lot of things to try to hide how we really, really feel. Right. So today, as a family, we're gonna come to you guys and try to talk to you guys about the grieving stations and the griefs that we all have been through and all are going through at this moment. Right. You know, we all have lost a mother.
My mother.
I've lost a daughter. They've lost a grandmother. They've lost cousins. Yes. They've even lost friends.
Right.
You know, and you know your friends can cause you to grieve too, because friends become family.
Right.
You know,
definitely.
And so, you know, we're gonna touch some topics about Elise. And Elise is my grandmother, our grandmother, and my mom's mother. And so we're gonna start it off with talking to Carolyn first, because Carolyn was her mother's caregiver.
Yes.
And you know that takes a lot to be your mother's caregiver. You know, and to watch your mom go from a healthy stage, and then all of a sudden she doesn't have the same body frame that she has anymore. Right. You know, she don't have the same mind frame that she had anymore. She don't have those abilities to walk anymore. All of that stuff went away. So I'm gonna briefly let Carolyn. Yeah, I'm sorry if I call her mama, because this is what it is. But Mama Carolyn Mama.
They call me Mama.
Carolyn. So Carolyn. So how did you become your mom's caregiver?
Well, my sister that she lived with had asked me, would I be able to deal with Mama? I said yes. My sister asked me, will I be able to take care of Mama, do for Mama, because I wasn't doing nothing at the house. I wasn't, working or nothing. I was just at home. So I said, yeah. But that is my mama. She took care of me when I was young.
Yeah. And so like you said,
she raised me.
Yeah. So why would you not want to take care of your mother? And there's some people out there selfish that don't even want to take care of their parents.
And when I was washing, when I was giving her a bath, I said, Mom, I ain't doing no more than what you've done for me when I couldn't do it. I said, you couldn't do it, so let me do it, Mama. Let me help clean you up.
Right.
And I gave when I was cleaning Mama up too, I gave her privacy and dealing with private parts. I'll let Mama wash that.
Right.
I said, I ain't doing no more than what you've done for me.
Right.
And Mama, she appreciate that too.
Right. And so on an everyday day, of being with your mother, how did you watch her go from this stage to this stage to this stage? How did it affect you? How did it make you feel?
It happened so fast. I always, I would do this to Mama. I always talk about the Lord. Now, I would play Geno Jennings for her. She loved watching Geno Jennings. And we would always talk about the Lord. And I let her know, Mama, God don't put no more on you than you can bear. And my mama would always say he take care of his own.
Take care of his own.
And I found that out. I already know because my mama raised us up in the house of God. Like I raised y'all up in, in the Lord. So, we was always talking about God, and we just took one day at a time.
Yeah. And then as you slowly seen her, start declining, it was in her dementia.
Yes, but she was more. She declined. Mama declined, but she more, on than she was off. She was on more at herself than not at herself. If she didn't want no food or nothing to drink, I said, Mama, try to eat this. Try to do that. She'd take maybe a drink. She might suck it one time. She said, nah, that's enough. Then I would give her some food. She said, nah, that's enough. Just a little. Sometimes she'll spit it out. That was letting me know she was declining. But it's one thing Mama never did spit out that I fixed for her to eat in the morning. Strawberries. She would eat all that. She would eat just about all that. But the rest of that stuff, she'll say, nah, that's enough.
Yeah. And so when you would leave, some of those days that you would leave, how did you feel going home or being at home when you wasn't caring for her?
Well, like I said earlier, I know Mama knew the Lord, and I knew God was gonna take care of her. So I knew she was in the hands of God, and whatever was going on with Mama, I knew because she knows the Lord. And sometimes I ask which I already know. I said, Mama, do you ever talk to God? You ain't got to talk out of your mouth. You can talk in your mind. She said, yeah. She'll shake her head, yeah. I said, that's good, because I know you know the Lord. I said, he ain't forgot your labor, Mama. He ain't forgot no labor that you done.
So being as a child, what type of mother was she as to you?
Oh, Mama was firm. She knew everything about what I was doing. She had all kind of policies on me. When I was going to school, she had a police at the schoolhouse. She had them everywhere I went. And that was my auntie, because she was the cafeteria lady. She would tell my mama, I didn't see Callan come through the line. She knew I was gone. She knew I had skipped school.
Now let me ask you a question.
I skipped school.
Who you took after when you start naming all us our nicknames? Who you get that from? Like from just your mama, nanny, or just from your aunts or your uncles? Because
Just
you name us
myself.
some exotic names.
I
like,
call it like I saw it.
okay.
I call it like I saw
How
it.
we was acting or just, say stuff.
And wait a minute, I can tell you this much. I got that from Mama, because Mama would call things as she seen.
Yeah, she seen them.
So
Right.
what she would do?
She would call names that she seen, like your son. Montez, she named him Leaping Eyes because his eyes was like
Leaping eyes.
Leaping Eyes.
Right.
Yeah.
And stuff, but like you, Sergeant, how you got your name? You was about 3 or 4. You always stand in sergeant in position like a sergeant, and I come out with Sergeant. That's how you got your name. I was just giving names
and
like
also,
I seen
she
it.
named my son Drunk Man.
Drunk Man.
Drunk man and shouting John.
Y'all remember them drunks that used to be out North Nashville?
Yeah.
Hanging all on the corner and stuff. And I looked at Drunk Man one time, and
Montez.
Montez. I said, man, you look like one of them blame drunk man used to hang out North Nashville. And
then she named my son Tez. He's light skinned. She named him Puzley.
From
And
the Addams family.
other people just be laughing like, oh, this. And that's why my son, grow his dreads to this day. But just Puz, she named all of them.
was white, but Puz, your Puzley is black. That's all, but he looked just like Puzley from the Addams family. Look at Puzley.
But see, I'm so glad I'm her child. Because I don't have a nickname for her.
And I don't
Thank
either.
you, Jesus.
I don't either.
I'm
either.
just
You
happy.
name me
But your brother named you Erica Kane.
Yeah.
Erica Kane.
Nah, I ain't worried about him. I'm talking about
Why she doesn't know Erica Kane? I never heard of that.
because
It was in
all
the
my
younger,
children.
before
What did
y'all
she
was
do?
born.
All my
Because Erica
children,
Kane
a
that
soap
was
opera.
on the soap
Stars,
opera,
yeah.
she was very sensational. She was very ruly, and Erica used to rule us like, y'all sit down. Nanny said don't do this. Nanny said, and every time Nanny will know something, she'll say, Erica, come here. What happened? Erica was just gonna spill it out. We like,
Tell on
sit down,
everybody.
Erica Kane.
Tell on everybody.
Yeah. So that's what we get.
Yeah, because
Erica
I'm not
Kane
finna
from.
get in trouble with them. You think I'm
Yeah.
finna get a whooping? No.
Because, she could whoop. Mama
I'm
could
not
whoop.
getting
no
She
whooping
could
by
lift you up
Nanny.
and
Yes.
whoop.
And that's why y'all would say, who all got whooped by Nanny? I didn't.
Yeah, but she could
Because
whoop.
she
Mama
calling
could
the
whoop.
bill
Yeah.
people them
She
for.
wasn't playing no games when it come to whooping.
That's how she get out.
Right.
You could get out of
So, now, Mama, thank you. Thank you so much. So now we're
it.
going
Curly
to go.
J.
We're going to go.
Little
We're gonna,
father.
we're gonna go with Carmen. Carmen was also Nanny's. This is Nanny's granddaughter, but she was Nanny's caregiver also.
Right.
So y'all see how you gotta care for your family. You know, sometimes y'all be so quick to throw them into nursing homes and those type of things because you don't wanna, how can I put it, mess up your life or your life is too busy. But when you got a big family, y'all can share it.
Right.
We share it.
Yes, we
You know, we share what we have to do for one another.
Most definitely.
So Carmen was Nanny's caregiver also, and Carmen spent a lot of time with Nanny and talked to Nanny a lot and wanted to know the history of Nanny.
Right.
And so Carmen, how did you become Nanny's caregiver?
Well, I became Nanny's caregiver. Who the ones that don't know, I'm a CNA, certified nurse assistant. I've been a CNA for 17 years. And so when the family found out that Nanny had dementia at first, and, they did a good job, but once she got into her Alzheimer's stage, that's when it started, getting a lot for the family. And, of course, we had family meetings and, like Aunt Carolyn, Uncle Bubba, my uncle, my auntie, and them was like, well, Carmen, you work in this field, so, and I really did it for my grandmother, but just to give my uncle and my aunties them some, some time to themselves, because as you know, Alzheimer's is a horrible disease. You forget everything. Sometimes she was forgetting who they was, and they can be sadful and sorry. And I worked in that type of field, and I know how to deal with them type of patients. And I'm like, You know, I do it for other people. I rather do it for my grandmother and help out my grandmother.
That's why she have her cape on now. She have
Yeah, I
Nanny's
have
cape.
my nanny hat on.
Her hat. So
My nanny, every time she always told us is that when you go to church, cover your head. A woman is supposed to cover their head. And I always took that with me, and I always reminded myself, you know, try to cover my head. So I got my nanny cap on.
Right.
But when I saw my nanny in her Alzheimer's stages, she to know that she's a strong woman, and you know, it's like I knew she was crying out for my help, so I came in, you know, helped dress my grandmother, helped, you know, washed her up. I helped feed her, you know, talk to her, kept a companionship, you know, and like my cousin said, it takes a village because my grandmother was a great grandmother. She was very a highly businesswoman. My nanny always taught me, you know, she was let me know, you know, that who she was. You know, she owned these stores. She owned it, Nanny's Kitchen on Dickinson Road restaurant. She had a store named it
H&F Market.
H&F Market, and it was on
Hannah and Fuller.
Yes, Hannah and Fuller.
On 40.
On 40.
Y'all
So,
recognize that.
She owned it a triplex. You know, she was a legacy woman. Like when my mom, you know, got at the age where they needed to try to find home, they didn't have to. My grandmother, they moved into my grandmother triplex.
We lived in one of my grandmama's apartments.
Yes. Yes.
I raised my kids.
Until my brother burned it down.
Burned it down.
Y'all almost burned me up.
No, for real. So, just to know, that's why I said, try to go to your elderly because that's the roots of everything. If you want to know who you are, go to your elderly people. God showed me from then, and it had to take my grandmother to sacrifice for her to get Alzheimer's, to know that I'm royal. I'm a businesswoman myself. And not only that, but to lead off of my grandmother's legacy. When we got from school, 16, my grandmother bought us cars. We didn't have to go and ask somebody, oh, can you pick me up? My grandmother made sure all of that. I wanted goals in my mouth. And my nanny, as everybody know, my nanny got $1 million smile. I was 15 years old, 14 years old.
You gotta tell the truth. You gotta tell the truth. She hit the numbers, y'all.
Yeah, she hit the numbers. She hit the numbers.
Let's tell we got
she had her hand like this.
She hit the numbers.
And I didn't even know that.
She hit the numbers. Okay. So when she hit the numbers, she hit them real big. She was a number player. Twisted down. And then it was a number player, and they call her Big Ellie.
Big Ellie.
That was her name.
Big Ellie.
And so, because Big Ellie played them, and I used to take them down there. We calculated and everything. And so she taught me how to put it in the box and put that in the box right there, and put that in the box, and then put 50 cents on this. I'm gonna get this. So you know, she played the numbers, and so she hit the numbers big, and so she was like, "What y'all want? What y'all want?" And so everybody said we want to go.
We want to go, and I'm out.
And it was Chris. You didn't go, did you?
I didn't go.
No,
Carmen
didn't go.
I know it was me, Carmen,
Christy,
and I think Cento.
And I think it was Cento. But anywho, the car was packed, and the car was packed down, and it was Lil Mom. And we all went out to Hardin Place. Hardin Place. I remember the mall used to be in Hardin Place, and my grandma paid for all our
goals. Like we was grilled out. I
was grilled out, baby. I was grilled out, baby.
But I was grilled out. We was all grilled out, and everybody known us from, that's that lady that got the grandkids, got her grandkids grilled out. But I understood that my nanny was just showing us we are royal. You don't have to, downplay yourself or anything, but we come from a royal family. So I was appreciative of me helping out my nanny, and also my nanny pouring back into me. And,
So who the one did y'all go? Was it Dr. Walls or
No, it was inside
a
foreigner
Oh,
inside of
okay.
Yeah, because Nanny was the type of grandmother. She said that her grandmother was a mean grandmother.
Yeah, she was.
And that when she had her grandchildren, she wasn't gonna treat us the way that her grandmother treated her.
Right.
And so, I'm not glad that her grandmama treated her wrong, but I'm glad her grandmama treated her wrong.
Yeah.
Because it taught her how to treat her grandchildren.
Yeah.
And she made sure that we had, and she made sure we was taken care of. She did not turn her back on us, and we come knocking on her door. She was gonna open up her door. My grandmama. She made a way out of nowhere. If we only had 4-5 rooms, guess what? And you had 10 people in the house, we gonna make a way. Y'all gonna sleep together. Y'all gonna sleep on the floor. Y'all gonna sleep on the sofas. Y'all gonna sleep wherever you need to sleep at. But we gonna make a way. And we had all these people in one house with one bathroom.
And we still thought our grandmama was rich.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. Like some of y'all don't even know what that is anymore.
Right.
Because y'all won't allow. And I'm going to say this because some grandmothers want to be the grandmothers that they want to be. But sometimes the mothers won't allow the grandmothers to be the grandmothers they need to be. And I don't know why.
Like, shout out to God be my grandson, because baby, I ain't going with him. Daddy love you.
Yep.
Okay.
And so,
shout out to Ari.
Yep. But I can't shout out all 14 of them.
All y'all.
Shout out to
all
y'all. Whoever gonna allow me to be a grandmother, shout out to y'all.
They know
y'all know who y'all is.
The
Y'all
nanny
know we
hand.
love
The nanny hand.
Y'all already know we love you.
Mama swear to God, I'm not the grandmother.
No, they know who it is.
She the grandmama. She the grandmama, and I feel like I'm the great grandmama. She the grandmama, and I'm the great grandmama.
Right.
Like, who am I? So, shout out to to the ones that are allowing the grandmothers to be grandmothers. Only if you allow them to be. I promise y'all have the best grandmamas in the world. If y'all stop worrying about the baby daddies and all that stuff, put that stuff to the back and let the grandmothers be grandmothers.
That's right.
Because it's still some out here, still some good. But we're not them type of grandmas gonna keep your grandkids while you go to the club.
No,
but as we say, Nanny was these things to us, and I came in place when I found out that my grandmother was no longer walking, because I seen her in February walking, and I'm the one that I work all the time, so I really can't get places like I need to because I'm always at work. But I would call my mama all the time because I knew mama was with her. And I would say, Mama, put her on the phone, let me talk to her. And she'd say, is that Erica? That's what she called me. And I get on the phone, and then mama trying to teach her how to hold the phone up and stuff. And so I would talk to her like that, and that would give me my fix, my grandmama fix. But then when I realized she was not walking is when our cousin Donovan had passed away. And we was at Donovan's funeral, and I thought she was just in the wheelchair. And I didn't pay attention to her. I was just talking to her, And so I ended up finding out that my grandma was not walking anymore.
Like, is Nanny not walking?
And I'm like, Nanny not walking? Because I just seen Nanny walking because mama was coming out the bathroom and putting Nanny on the phone butt naked. I said, oh man, mama, why you guys put her on the phone like that for? And so, it hurt me. It hurt me to know my grandmama wasn't walking anymore. And I was like, damn, my grandma not walking? And so that's when I started making phone calls, like, what's going on? Because even though I don't come to the house, doesn't mean I don't communicate with my grandmama to know what's really going on with her. And so when I found out that she really wasn't walking into the state of how her dementia has taken over her body, I would come on weekends. I would make it my business to come on Saturdays and sit and talk with her. And the day that I had to end up changing my grandmama for the first time, and that's when I had got my time in too. I was changing her, and I was like, Nanny, I never thought that I would have to change you. And then it was quiet. She wasn't saying a word. And when I got finished changing her, and Nana said, no, this is what she said. She said, you want me to turn over? I said, no, Nana, I got it. I said, you don't taught us well. You know, you taught us how to be nurses, and you taught us how to be CNAs. You taught us how to be caregivers. You taught us. So I don't need you to turn over. I got you.
Right.
So after I cleaned her up and things, and I looked at her, I said, Nanny, I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciated you. I appreciate everything you did for me. I appreciate how you taught me to be the woman that I am today. You know, I appreciate, you know, you just never turning your back on me. I appreciate you never closing your door on me. I appreciate you just, you know, showing me the way and giving me that business mentality, you know, and you are deserving of every poop I gotta clean up or anything I gotta do for you, Nanny. You are deserving of it. And she just looked at me and she just smiled. And I said, and then I love you for everything that you did, you know, for me. And so I got my moments in then, and then when she got to acting up on Carmen sometimes.
All the time.
She get to acting up on Carmen and going on. I like, all right.
Why you do Erica like that? She used to always, I don't know what it is about me, but she'll be good with everybody. And that's if somebody have some issues with a family member with Alzheimer's. Just know they gonna have some moments where you'll be like, I never thought that you would do something. They would turn their back on you. Like my grandmama, like almost hit me, almost smacked me, like pulled my hair. I'm like, Nanny, what are you doing? But
don't forget about Nanny. Used to get that broom out.
Yeah, she like, you don't tell me what to do. I tell you what to do. I'm like, well, listen, you the one pooped on yourself, so I'm gonna be the one to change you. But that's. Like Erica said, that's the worstest thing. Like, I still get emotional. But the hardest thing was when I went in the room and my grandmother had a bowel movement. And I had to change her. And like, I just had to pray and ask God, like, God, please. It's the hardest thing. I can change 1,000 people, but just to know that it's my grandmama and how strong she was. And to know that she was in her baby stages. That's the hardest
Mama
thing.
Didn't even know when she
get
was
through it. And she did.
She didn't know when
She didn't know.
I said, Mama, that's all right. That's all right.
And now we're gonna speed it up and go into the part of when Nanny ended up, you know, getting kind of, she declined even more into when she was put in hospitalized and how our family had to come together. And we're gonna talk about this as a group because we all was there. How Nanny had to be hospitalized. She had a uterus that ruptured, and she bled in the inside. And so, by her bleeding in the inside, she had an ulcer. Yes, and it had ruptured. And y'all, I was at the club, y'all. I'm saying I was at the club. I was clubbing with my cousins, and she had her procedure. No, let me take it back. I was coming home from work, and I called Carmen to check on her. And I said, Carmen, how is she doing? And Carmen was like, ooh, Erica, ooh, she is, Nanny is up here acting up. It's one of these doctors. She is acting up. And I said, do I need to come now? I just worked 13 hours, but you know, that's my grandma. And I said, Carmen, do I need to come? And Carmen said, yeah, I think you need to come. And I said, okay, I'm on my way. So I went and got my husband, and we, you know, drove 45 minutes to come. And my grandma was sitting up there, honey, she was just acting up. They couldn't get no vein or nothing like that because she was dehydrated and her veins was wiggling. And Carmen, and Carmen was trying to talk to her and trying to disturb, you know, distract her. And then, you know, one of the funny part is when you told her, Carmen, you said, Nanny, don't that doctor look, don't that nurse look good? And Nanny said, oh shoot. like she was not gonna tell him he looked good. And so we was all coming back and forth. Everybody took turns. We stayed. You know, Carmen stayed at the hospital. I stayed at the hospital. And Nene stayed at the hospital. Mama was at the hospital, Aunt Mona was at the hospital, my husband was at the hospital.
It's
Everybody just was taking turns. Aunt Pamela was, everybody was just taking turns as a family came together to be there for my grandmother. And so, you know, then it came to the part where we had to make a decision. Because my grandmother, I'm gonna go back, because I was at the club, and y'all, I had on an outfit there from my titties out and everything. I was looking good, y'all. And so they called and said my grandmother had a heart attack.
Yeah.
And so as I was trying to pull up at the other club, and they called and said my grandmother had a heart attack, I was like, oh well, okay, here I come. So we all flying to the hospital, and I'm looking down like what I had on, but I found something, put it on, and ran in the hospital, you know. So it came to where we had to make a decision because my grandmother's dementia was rather when she came out from the heart attack because they couldn't do a surgery because of her old age.
Yeah.
So and they couldn't, and you know, if she was to came out of it, if her dementia would tell her to breathe.
Right.
So her dementia did not tell her to breathe. So now it got to the hospice stage, and so Carmen was in Atlanta. And so Carmen was like, you know, no. Nana said she wanted to be at home if she passed. She wanted to go home. So when they came to me and they was like, hey, either she can stay here or she can go to hospice. And I was like, well, if y'all gonna transport her, why can't we transport her home and do hospice in care, you know? And so they said, well, they could be done, you know. So of course, we all came up together, made the decision. We had 7 minutes to get my grandmama home, to get her on oxygen. Me and my other cousin Christy, we flew here. I mean, on 2 wheels, you know, and we got here, moved everything out the way. The family was coming behind her. We made sure my grandmother got in here. Everything was comfortable, you know. Me and Carmen and had took control of making sure that she got her bath. You know, and I tell people the hardest part for me was injecting morphine into my grandmother. That was the most difficult part of caring for my grandmother, is having to be the one to inject morphine into my grandma, to knowing that this was taking her out. You know, it was making her comfortable, but it's also, you know, morphine at a certain point in your life, it stops you from, it slows down everything, and it takes you on the way, you know. And so, you know, then after my grandmother passed, she passed on the same day that we was having her birthday party. And so the day that she passed, Mercedes and everybody got here first, and I still was coming. Y'all, it's like when they called and told us that the lights had went out, and my auntie then was trying to hook up the oxygen machine. It was something in me that just said, let it go. Something in my heart, in my chest, and I started moving so slow, was like, just let it go. And I got dressed, and I ran out here, you know, and the first thing, when I went to the room, the first thing I said was, have she had a bath? We gotta make sure she clean before the coroners come and get her. So that's when me and Mercedes made sure that she was clean. We put on her outfit she's supposed to wear for her birthday party. And y'all, and we still had my grandmama's birthday party.
Yes, indeed.
We still had it.
A good time.
And we, you know, we celebrated her life, you know, and that's family.
Right.
When you can come together in such a time like that, and still, you know, knowing that you just lost the one who holds your family together.
Right.
You know, it was difficult. But we did it. Yeah, we did the funeral. Me and Mercedes worked on Nanny's obituary.
Oh yeah. Did a great job.
Great job.
Great job. We worked on the funeral. It was difficult working on those type of things. Working on the funeral, making sure that we sent her out of here as the queen that we knew she was.
Yes.
You know, and so Now it's the aftermath.
Yeah.
The aftermath is dealing with our parents that's grieving over their mother.
Their mother, right.
You know.
Oh, damn, I like to say, if you got a mother still living or grandmother, just try to spend all the time that you can with them. Gather up all information that they're talking about. Take it all in. You know what I mean? Because it's something else when you lose your mother. You know, that's the best thing, you know, to a child is when they, you know, lose their mother. They lost it all, really. But I thank God for the strength that He give me to, you know that God is, you know, she's in God's hands. God is taking me through day by day. I'll never forget my mother as long as I live. But I just, you know, cope with it day by day. Because I know she's in the hands of God. She know the Lord. And I thank God, you know, for all the wisdom that Mama had and shared with her and her grandkids.
Right. And families, stick together.
Yeah.
Stick together. Put the past in the past. Put the bickering behind you.
Stick together.
Stick together.
That's right.
Because you do not want your loved ones. I worked at a nursing home for 17 years. I wouldn't put an ant there. Like, it is horrible. It's if you love your family, don't like have family meetings like we did. Like when one person got tired, don't put everything on one person. All to come together on the strength of just like society, just like you say, don't send your child to jail. You don't want your child to go to prison. Don't send your loved ones that sick to the nursing home unless you really have to. But allow it to be the last option. And I believe when my nanny died, on the day that we was giving her a party, I think that was God telling us this is gonna be y'all party because we did such a good job in taking care of my grandmother. We treated her royal just like she treated us, and she was so worth it.
Yes, she was.
Was we mad at each other sometimes? Yes, we was, but
Yes,
we
we
still,
was.
at the end of the day, made sure my nanny had what she had clean from her head to her toe.
Right.
We still made sure we'll cuss you out when we get done.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're not gonna act like everything was perfect because it wasn't all perfect. We had some mishaps. You know, the siblings had some arguments that went on.
Yes.
You know, shoot, at the darn grave site with their daddy waking him all up, and they ain't been up there in years, and they went up there and woke him up. So, but you know,
Where to bury my mother.
but that, you know, and but
She
she with her daddy.
She
No,
with
she's-
my dad.
Oh, okay. But they did it, you know, so we ain't finna sit in here and act like our family just did the best funeral there were. You know, we went through everything like with no problems because we did have some problems. We did have some mishaps, but we got through them. We got through them so that we could have the best homegoing that we could possibly have. For them, talking about, when I said my grandma was so fine, I wish I could post on Facebook.
Yeah.
We got to.
But I knew I couldn't.
Uh-huh.
But baby, she was fine. Do you hear me?
$1 million outfit.
Man, she was. Thank you,
Dressed
Elaine.
in gold.
Thank you, Elaine.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Elaine. If my cousin Elaine dressed my grandmother,
Did a
Oh
good
my
job.
gosh, she
Wonderful
was
job.
so
Phenomenal
beautiful.
job.
Oh, she
Yes,
was so
she did.
beautiful.
My nanny
yes.
left with her $1 million smile, gold out, grilled out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so
All right.
we're gonna end this, and we're gonna just thank everybody for tuning in.
Yes.
And we just want to say to you guys, with
Give
family,
it glory.
hey, stick together.
That's right.
Cause y'all, this is what we have,
Give
Right.
God all the
right?
praise.
This is what
All
we
of
have.
us.
That's right. That's all we
All
got.
of
That's
us.
all we got. We got friends, it's like but this is all we got, baby.
Come on.
All right.
We is
Uh.
family.
Yeah.
Hey,
We are family. Come on.
hey, hey.
I got everybody with me.
We are family.
Thank y'all for tuning in.
I got everybody with
And we're
me.
gonna see y'all next Sunday.
Come on
Hopefully
now.
little Kim will be sitting right
She'll
here.
be
So
back
we
with
know
us.
she gonna probably be back.
I got
Yeah.
Well, ain't
But
Kim
then
in,
back
we
with
on our way up
Come
there
on
to
now.
the skyline.